Bueno, hoy estamos en el emergente y se va a presentar por primera vez en Buenos Aires Chococorn and the Sugarcanes, una banda muy única desde Brasil que combina elementos del shoegaze y el midwest emo. Espero que disfrutes esta entrevista tanto como nosotros. Well, hi guys, I'm Thiago from Screaming Hearts. Such a pleasure to have you here. We are in El Emergente, Buenos Aires, with Fun, Estación Sur, Víctor Brauer, and obviously Chococorn and the Sugarcanes. Well, would you like to introduce yourself with your name and the instrument you play to the camera?
Hello, I'm Pedro. I play the guitar in Chococorn.
Yes, I am Pietro and I play the bass on Chococorn.
Hey everyone, I am Alexandre, or Ale, and I play the drums from the band Chococorn.
Hi, I'm Pipe. I play keys and guitar in Chococorn.
But we also sing.
Everyone sings in
It's like a boy band.
That's beautiful. I love when everybody sings in a band. It's great. I'm a drummer personally, and I sing in a band too, and that's the best feeling in the world. Well, to start, would you like to tell me what influences each one of you to make the music you make with Chococorn? It's like from sadness, hope, nostalgia, or where does it come, that ideas for Chococorn?
So I think a central theme in Chococorn is friendship. We talk about friendship since from the beginning, but influences from another music we got a lot from the last gira tour we did in Brazil, because we traveled like 14 states in Brazil and met a lot of another bands and other artists and started gathering influences and different types of concerts, different types of lyrics from all around Brazil. There's like a movement going on right now in Brazil that's called Emo Caipira. I don't know if you guys heard about it, but it's kind of like Midwest emo, but in Brazil. And we are a band important from this movement, and I think Pietro and Ale can talk more about this.
Me? Okay, so like we started doing music very inspired by the Midwest emo sound, but as time goes by, we realize we really don't want to be like a product of maybe imperialism or something like that, you know. And Brazil is a country so rich in music, and we wanted to expand our sound to embrace all that Brazil has culturally. So we like kind of created the name Emo Caipira, which means something like hillbilly emo or something like that, you know. And we try to put in a few songs instruments like the viola or the gaita. How do we say gaita in English?
Oh,
Harmonica, the harmonica and stuff like that. Cuica. Percussion. A lot of percussion from like samba bands and stuff like that. And a lot of people from Brazil kind of embraced that too, and it's pretty emotional for us. It's pretty beautiful. We have a tender heart for this, you know.
Yeah, but musically, like in bands, we had some influences from our scene general, like Belhão da Bruxa, which is from the south of Brazil in Porto Alegre. But there's also like Show de Taco, Eliminadorzinho, which means Little Eliminator, and it's a very cool name. But also like other Brazilian bands, which is more like center in the Brazilian theme songs, like for example, Los Hermanos, que é uma banda which is a band we like a lot, which is like a samba rock, we say. Baiana System, which is from the Bahia state from Brazil. Chico Science. There's a lot of influences like
Well, Perfect. Yeah, I had that curiosity in what was the term Emo Caipira. I thought that it was more because of your location. You're from Santa Barbara, US, right? Yeah, and I thought it was like, yeah, that like music from the conurban. I don't know if that's pronounced, but by the interior, not from the capital. Yeah, and that's great. I love that there's Midwest emo community everywhere. Do you have some recommendations from emo from Brazil, or maybe just bands that inspire you in general from there?
Yes, we already talked a lot of bands, but like you guys need to interview a lot of bands from Brazil because there's so much good music there right now. Like Ali already said, Eliminadorzinho, Belly, Uomo da Bruxa, and later I can pass you the names for you to write and stuff. But Emo Caipira has like developed to a stage where some bands are not really emo in sound, but they identify themselves with the movement. And we have Jona Buggy, which is a band that played. They are friends of ours, and they played this year in Lollapalooza there, which was like a huge emotion for all of us. And we have Idio, we have Vinca Major, we have goddamn Quarto Vazio. Man, there's so much bands. We have Tangulo Mangos, Magnolia. Anyone can say more bands? Like, I forget them sometimes.
I don't know more bands, but it's really what you said, because the movement started with bands that are equally in sound, but evolved to a thing that it's equally in lifestyle, you know. So it's not about being emo or something with, como fala similaridade? Similarity. Sonor similarity. It's more about not being in the spotlight, not being in the capital, not being in... There's places for you to go, for you to make concerts, for you to record and have to do it yourself, you know. It's something that came with the pandemic, you know, doing it yourself with your friends in home, and stand it for after the pandemic, and now we're living this right now.
Yes.
Well, that's amazing. Yeah, I think that it's very cool to not just center in the main city and go everywhere. Here in Argentina, there are lots of shows and everything that is from like the north. It's like, I don't know, 1 hour from here or more. And like last year, it started going like a lot of shows in there, and it was very cool to see, okay, it's not all centralized there. We have other projects and other localities to play. Well, perfect. Well, since we are talking about Brazil, that I think it's very important that there's a Brazilian band here in Argentina, because I think that in Latin America, the Brazilian scene is very isolated from Latin America, probably because of the language. Personally, I don't know a lot of bands from Brazil, and I love seeing these opportunities of you coming here to show that that scene is alive, that there are bands playing. So what do you think about this? What do you think is the problem between the isolation, and how can we like be better at it and discover more music from everywhere?
It's actually funny that you said that, because like three or 4 months ago, we had a discussion on Twitter about Bad Bunny, which is an artist that is listening and top artist from all the Latin America, but in Brazil not, you know. So I guess the main thing about this is probably language, yes, but I don't know. I think that Brazilians don't actually identify themselves as Latin Americans, you know. I think that language barrier it's kind of the main thing, but the dimensions of the country it's something that we all suffer, because we have like 27 states, and all of them are like culturally diverse from each other. So we find hard to play in other states. And when we got out of São Paulo to play like Bahia, it's like I don't know, quão longe é?
2,000 kilometers.
Like 2,000 kilometers from São Paulo, from our houses.
Wow.
And it's like being here, but in Brazil.
It's the same distance.
But in Brazil, in the same country.
Wow,
you know,
yeah.
so the sound from São Paulo and the sound from Bahia, it's completely different. You know.
Okay.
And this language barrier thing is actually pretty sad because we should be more united because we all suffer from imperialism and everything and bad in the world. But I don't know, Brazil has a lot of, me personally, when I arrived here in Argentina and Uruguay also, I find really pretty places and it's very cold and I like cold weather and
I think we have barriers, cultural barriers inside Brazil too, because here, more close to the south of Brazil, we kind of have influence from Spanish music, music from Argentina and Uruguay, because we heard that in Rio Grande do Sul, that is the closest state. And on top of Brazil, we have more influence from African music and native music. So there's all these kind of things going on and, you know, those types of barriers. I just want to say that I didn't know any band from Argentina. The only artist I know is Catriel and Paco Amoroso. I love them. I went to the concert. It was amazing. I saw Kendrick Lamar and Catriel in the same night, and I preferred Catriel concert. It's incredible.
I mean, I studied Spanish for 2 years in college, and then we all stopped studying because of the band. But like, there was a time where my intentions were to focus totally in Spanish, and I knew that I learned English pretty easily because of all that I consumed that was in English. So music, games, movies, and etc. And so I went after bands and movies and everything from Latin countries, and it was so hard to find, like pretty hard. I went to like Reddit and these forums, you know, and it was pretty hard to find. I mean, the only band that I found really was Almendra. You know Almendra?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I love Almendra, but I would try to go after like bands that are contemporaries to us, you know, that exist right now. And I had a really hard time to find it, to discover. It was a pain in the ass, really. You know. Sorry.
It's kind of sad that we are so close and we're doing this interview in English, not in Spanish.
Yes.
Yeah, that's crazy. There are lots of crazy things because you're right. I saw that you were around like 12 states. That's a lot. I think it's crazy that Brazil is so big and obviously you have a lot of sounds. Here it's similar. If you go to other provinces, then, for example, in the north they play chacarera, that it's a traditional genre here that keeps going for ages. And well, there's a lot of scene in Argentina. I have to recommend you then some albums because that's great. Well, now I wanted to talk about 2 months ago you released your last album that was amazing, and I wanted to ask, how was the creative process behind that album, and how do you think that it differed from your previous work, CMS?
Okay, so like in CMS we were like 4 teenagers with a lot of free time and went to this guy's house like to play and to do like just to have fun. So and unexpectedly kinda CMS turned it into a big thing in the underground of Brazil, at least from where we are. And it took us to big places, you know, to the first show in other states and big capitals and great salas, salas, casa de show. But with all of that, with all of the shows we were doing and etc., we have really we have little time to like sit together and compose and do music. So I think that Todos os Cães is an album much more digital, not only in aesthetic but in like the process of making it. And I think that's pretty notable when you listen to it, like all of the synths and all of the effects, and there are songs with voice effects like autotune and etc. And I think that that's the first thing I can say. Anyone want to talk?
Yeah, I think the major difference between is a thing about production and money actually, because we were like 16 or 17 recording in like a bedroom or like a bedroom studio, and we didn't have the knowledge to mix and to release the music, but it took us to great venues. So we started to play in a lot of great venues actually, in like São Paulo, Hangar 110. That's like like very famous in São Paulo, in Brazil actually. And but the big difference to Todos os Cães Merecem o Céu is that we are in another country. You know, it's like a great venue in another country.
So I think the biggest difference from one record to another is the quality, that from recording and from all the art involving the record. We went to great studios to record. We worked with a lot of talented people. And for me, that was the biggest difference. We recorded in studios that a lot of great and famous bands in Brazil recorded, and we've met so many people, and took us to another level of quality. You know, it's still the same four teenagers doing songs, but this time we have a whole team around us that help us to reach the point where we wanted to go.
Well, that's great. I wanted to go back to when we were talking about how you were moving about all Brazil. You said that you weren't studying right now, right? Or, well, are you currently living from the band or aiming to live from that in a moment? Or it's like a side project that obviously it's amazing to dedicate. I with my bands, I dedicate a lot of time because I love making music. But do you think as an option in the future or now to go with Chococorn like worldwide? What do you think about it?
I think we're exactly at the middle of this. We don't know if we can live from the band or we have to study and get a job and this kind of stuff. So we kind of don't know what to do right now. I think the answers will come after this tour. It's a big tour. It's a lot of months. And for now, we can't study. We can't go to college. So there's that. We can't work too because we are busy in this kind of stuff. But I think the future will tell us. Of course, we want to live from music. We don't want to abandon other things because college is very fun and other types of art and work. It's good. It's good for us. But to live for the band, it's a dream for all of us.
That's that, I guess.
Okay, that's great. Well, to finish, now after this show and after all of your shows, what emotion or what feelings do you want to leave the spectator with after seeing you?
Funny.
So every concert, at least at the beginning, I used to say, if you guys didn't know us, now your guys are our friends. And I think that's the feeling I want people to have after our concerts, is that we're friends, you know, us and the people who came in the show, and we could see ourselves again, have fun again. I think that's that.
Yeah, and to always to have fun, you know, with each other, because I guess the one of the main themes of the band is like having fun, you know, and that's it.
Well, that's great. Thank you so much for your time. It was amazing to get to know you better. And I hope to see you on stage. I want to sing your songs. I love your records. So thank you so much. And well, have an amazing tour. There's a lot. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.